All right, guys, let's do this video, this pros and cons video. I'm choosing to, number one, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, we are Black, fit, semi-retired couple, meaning I'm retired, daddy is still working, daddy is husband, and we are on this expat journey. So we are here in Panama City right now. Next on the list is to head over to Taiwan in March. So we have been here, we got here October 22nd, so January 22nd will be 3 months. So we are just, what, a week shy of that? So I wanted to do my pros and cons list. I'm looking a little bit of a mess because I'm going to go do my round 2 cardio because she is also trying to lose like 10 pounds. So we are back on our fitness walk with the Lord. So yesterday I was perfect. I'm down 1.8 pounds from yesterday. So we are trying to be perfect today. So let's talk, what do we want to do? Pros or cons first? Honestly, we love it here. And there are not very many cons, but nowhere is perfect. So this is if I have to find something, this is what we come up with so far in 3 months. Now we are living in Panama City, in the city, in like the financial district, in a part of the city that's busy. They're more upscale, where a lot of expats, well, not a lot of expats, but where when people visit, it can be considered a little touristy. We are very close to the main touristy road, Avenida Balboa. We're a little bit off the strip, but it's like a 4-minute walk, so it's like right there. But just for quiet purposes, we're off the strip. Now, with that being said, when we first moved here, or did our Airbnb here, actually this is our 3rd trip here. The first time back in August of 23, we did Punta Pacifica area. Really like that area, but it just doesn't have as many things walking distance as this area. But a lot more quieter, equally nice. But again, I want to be able to walk to more places. And then when we came here in May of 2024, we were in the same area, but directly on the strip, and it can get pretty loud. The first time we were on floor 14, it was pretty loud. And then when we got here in October, we were next door to that building, so back on Avenida Balboa, and we were on floor 7. So sometimes it sounded like the vehicle was in the room with you. It was very loud. So we knew we did not want to be on the strip. So we're a little bit off the strip, you know, above floor 25, so it's like perfect. So pros for us, I asked Daddy, you know, do you have any pros or cons? And he basically said he loves everything, and he gave me 1 con that he hates. He gave me 2, but I wouldn't mention that was the second one. Okay, so the culture. We love the culture here. It's, as a people, they're very polite, very welcoming, and very grateful and gracious. And what I mean by that is, for example, when you tip them, there is no amount of tip you can give them that they will turn their nose up at. They are very appreciative of any tip you give them, which they're not necessarily like that in the States. When they perform a certain service for a certain amount of time, they expect a certain amount of tip. And so I've had people actually get offended if they didn't feel the tip was enough. They're not like that here. They appreciate anything extra you give them. Very grateful as a people. And there's so many things. Now, if you want to dig more into the culture, you have to dig more into like the non-touristy areas to like experience their food, their restaurants, their fondas, which is typically a family-owned restaurant with like a little store connected to it. If you want to dig more into the culture of their food and that sort of thing, and the language and all that, you kind of have to get a little bit away from the Balboa area. Although, unlike in Mexico, when you're in a very touristy area, there's a lot more English-speaking people as far as people, natives that are there versus, you know, the Americans. Here, not necessarily. You can be very much in the city, in the financial district, in the touristy areas, and there'll be a lot of people that do not speak English. So you can get by, but I'm just saying. That's a pro. Another pro is obviously the cost of living. Now, what is cheap or cheaper than what you were experiencing wherever else you're living? For us, we're coming from Scottsdale, Arizona, is relative to what you're coming from, how your bank account is set up, and what you're willing to spend. So for us, it's a lot cheaper. Now we could have certainly done it cheaper than we're doing it. And if you go back to my video, maybe episode 9, where I say $1,500 apartment, see what you can get. That's the apartment we actually ended up getting. Now you can get an apartment here. I mean, I could have got a 2-bedroom off Avenida Balboa for $1,300. You can get them for $800. You can get them a lot cheaper, but for what our requirement was and the look I was going for and what I wanted a steam room or a sauna. I wanted a spa so I could have masseuse come to me. I want a certain amount of equipment in the gym. So those sort of things were important to us. So we ended up spending a little more than the $800, let's just say that, or $900 or $1,000. But compared to what we're spending in the States, the $1,500 is within our budget of where we wanted to stay. So no harm, no foul. And I feel like you just get, obviously, a lot more bang for your buck. What you would get in the States for $1,500, you might be scared to leave outside your door. Or in Scottsdale, you ain't gonna get nothing in Scottsdale for $1,500. So clearly get more bang for your buck. Another pro is the food quality. Everything on all fronts. Everything, the beef, I don't eat pork, but the beef, the fish, the chicken, the bread, the fruit, everything, the quality is just better. I have not experienced any bloating since I've been here. And I'm not eating clean. Like, if you know, you know. Your girl has been in it. Like, one of my cons is the bread here. Like, it's a pro and a con. Pro in the sense of it tastes amazing. This is one pizza place, Leonardo's, y'all. That bread be melting in my mouth. And it's like on the price scale of your Little Caesars. Like, you get your whole, if you get like a 14-inch, I think it's $3.99. Like, it's your Little Caesars of Panama, I guess. But y'all, the bread will melt in your mouth. I freaking love Leonardo's pizza. And I just get a cheese pizza. But the breads at the Fonda that they make homemade in-house, y'all, it's got a chokehold on me. I've gained probably about 15 pounds in 2 months since I've been here because I cannot stay away from the bread. So a pro as in the quality and the freshness and not causing the bloating and the breakout. No, I don't break out, I'm gonna quit telling that lie. But a con in the sense of I just couldn't stay away. So the food quality is amazing. A lot of people like to go to the fresh fruit markets where the farmers will bring their stuff or whatever, but it's a little bit of a ride. I'm not that passionate about fruit, and I feel like the quality that I'm getting in the grocery store is just as good. So I don't want to go through all that to save a buck, but I also buy from fruit vendors, and if you guys have been here for a while, you've seen that in my vlogs. So I just don't feel the need to go through. I don't feel the need to travel 30 minutes to get 20 lemons for $1. It's just not that serious for me. So I either grab a fruit vendor that I see on the way from the gym or whatever. Another pro is there's lots of entertainment here. If you are a person that loves to be out in these streets, there is something to do. Like, you can't do it all living here, whether you've been here a year, 2 years, 5 years, 6 years. There is plenty to do at all times. And there's so many Panamanian islands around here that you can catch ferries, you can do the little boat thing, you can fly to them. Like, there's so much to do. They love music here. They love to eat here. They are not above on a Wednesday night, living their best life on a Tuesday in these streets. Like, there is so much entertainment here. Like, I guess in the States, you know, I was on the hamster wheel. I was in the hustle and bustle of it all. So I was not trying to do something on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night. But since being here, and I'm sure there was just as much to do in Scottsdale on a Tuesday night, but that wasn't my life. But here, and if I've been a small island, you would think that there's things you can run out of to do, but there's literally something going on all the time, whether it's with the local culture or whether it's with the expats groups. There are a lot of expat Facebook groups or WhatsApp groups, and they keep everybody informed, and there's always something to do at least 3 to 4 times a week within the expat groups if you want to stick to, you know, the expat group. And I would say my last pro is the amount of daily activity that we are able to expend. Now, this is coming from our fitness brain, me and Daddy's. Our daily needs, non-exercise activity is so far beyond what it's ever been, as long as we've been wearing Apple Watches. We literally walk everywhere. We have no intention on buying a car here because it's the city, so it's almost more hassle to have a car and try to work out parking and all that, although we have 2 parking spaces, I think, with our apartment. But the hustle and bustle of it all is just not worth it. It's so much more convenient to take an Uber. And if you watch my budget video or our cost of living, you see what our Uber cost has been a month since we've been living here. So it's just easier, cheaper, and we walk a lot. We walk home from the gym, no matter, except if we go to San Francisco gym. That's just a lot going on. There's too many major freeways you gotta cross, but we walk from the gym, and it's anywhere from 1.5 miles to a mile to 1.9 miles. Like, we walk a lot here, and you couldn't pay me to walk somewhere in Scottsdale. First of all, I don't feel safe. I feel like I'm always gonna fit the description. It's not common, so it's just, wasn't the life we're living. Now, let's get to the cons. I don't wanna drag this out. The cons. For both of us, the trash on the streets. It's not so much that there's trash just sprawled out in the streets, but the trash bins. I don't know. I personally have probably seen dumpster trucks pick them up twice since I've been living here. So it gets stinky. Like, I don't know how it is like in other areas to live in, but in the city, the trash, oh, it smells like 3 dead people and their dogs. It gets in your mouth. It's horrific if you're walking. So that would be a con. The dog poop. Not everybody picks up after their dogs. And it seems more prevalent here because people are very, very much into dogs. We don't have pets. Dad don't like dog animals, so he really don't be having time for it. So they're just very dog-friendly country. So they don't seem too concerned that people don't pick up. It's not like the trash. It's not like you're stepping in shit everywhere you go. But the dog poop on the sidewalks, I could do without it. Now, this is me if I have to find a con. Okay. Thirdly, the gnats. This is probably actually my number one, the gnats. There is literally, and it doesn't matter where you are, how well you live, whose apartment you're in, how new the building is, you are going to have a gnat. And I would venture to say one in each room. I don't know if it's the same gnat that I'm fighting in my bedroom, but it's putting me through it. I was in someone else's apartment the other day, and I'm like, and you feel like, I don't want to be rude, but I'm like slapping the gnat away, and they're like, I think it's the fresh food I get from the fresh market. I don't know, but the gnats here, they're annoying. They may be at restaurants, they're gonna get into your apartment. That's annoying. And y'all not gonna believe this, but those are my only cons thus far. I've had nothing but the best experience since living here. I don't know if it's still just so new to me, and I'm just so grateful to be in this space that I just have blinders on and I just don't see any negatives. But for me, I do not have any negatives. And for us, the fact that this is a black and brown country, Mexico is obviously more of a brown country, we blend in and you feel at home. You feel like exactly what we were wanting to feel, like part of the majority and not the minority. So for that reason, that's definitely why we chose Panama over Mexico. Although we are gonna get our residency in Mexico as well. But Panama will probably be considered home. So that's pretty much my list of pros and cons. I'm going to do this again before we leave. Now, if you're new here, please subscribe, like the episode, throw your girl a comment, because if you're into the idea of this expat journey, it's gonna get good, y'all. From here, we are going to Taiwan in March. While we're over there on that side of the world, Daddy also wants to go to BCG, the city of BCG in the Philippines. So we'll be doing that too, but I don't care which one we do first. I don't care which one we do first, but I think he said we will probably do Taiwan first in Bangkok. And then from there, we will go on to the Philippines for a little bit. And then my thought process is from there we'll come back here, possibly, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe hit Europe on the way back. Who knows? But yeah. So that's what y'all can look forward to starting in. I think we're gonna probably try to leave in March. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. Hopefully you learned something that you didn't know already, but this has just been my experience. Again, we freaking love it here. We've run into so many expats that are coming here to try to figure out if they want to live here. I've made connections here this go around versus when I was here back in May. And I'm definitely gonna miss some people. Like, I've made some friends here. So it's gonna be, I'll be back, but we're gonna be gone for a while. We'll probably be on that side of the world probably for 6 to 8 months. So anyway, I'm gonna go do my cardio so I can eat myself some lunch, and I have a Spanish lesson at 2. So again, I appreciate you more than you know. like this episode, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see y'all in my next weekly vlog.